With the release of the Wii U quickly approaching, it's time to take a moment and reflect on its predecessor. The Wii gave its fair share of both happiness and heartache, but in this particular video we're going to focus on the underrated, underappreciated, and just plain forgotten titles that Nintendo's little console that could had to offer. Without further ado, and in no particular order, here are some of the picks for underrated gems of the Nintendo Wii. If you had to wrap up the experience of Little King's story in just one phrase, it would be charming. Well, maybe that and balls difficult. The game has you donning the crown and ruling the kingdom of Opoko. You'll recruit citizens, change their classes, lead them into battle, find treasure, build new facilities, and play ping pong. All of this is on the docket if you hope to achieve the goal of world domination. Although the majority of your time will be spent sending your loyal followers into the jaws of danger for your own amusement or the betterment of your kingdom. Now, there is an obligatory comparison to Pikmin that has to happen, but Little King's story is so much more than that. It's a fun, charming, and real challenge at times. Yes, a challenge. On the exterior, the game may have a super sweet and cute facade, but underneath is a hard-as-nails experience that will make even the most seasoned gamers want to break their controllers with feelings of impotence. It's not for everyone, but those willing to give Little King's story a shot will find themselves with quite the hidden little gem on their hands. If you've paid attention to the statistics that Nintendo puts out every now and then, you may have noticed Rune Factory Frontier is commonly on the top 3 most played games on the console. Now that's in regards to hours played and not necessarily people playing it. The reason for that is more than likely that it's a great game with hundreds of hours of enjoyment to be had. Now, a really quick disclaimer about this game. If you've never been interested in Harvest Moon or any other Rune Factory game, if the thought of plowing fields, tending crops, forging tools, and balancing relationships has never really appealed to you, Rune Factory Frontier is not likely to change that opinion. If these things do happen to appeal to you though, you've got an instant winner in Rune Factory Frontier. Like the first DS entry into the series, the game focuses on the amnesia-affected protagonist, Raguna. His quest is to solve the mystery of Whale Island, a giant flying whale that makes its home over the player's town, while living a farmer's life in the little village of Trempoli. There are girls to marry, fields to tend, dungeons to raid, fish to be caught, and a myriad of other activities. It's easy to get hooked into this game for hundreds of hours if you are not careful. Now, if this type of game appeals to you though, those will be some highly enjoyable hours. While this is the second game on our list that covers the life of a pint-sized king, don't make the mistake of thinking they're similar games. While you are spending your time building up a kingdom in ruins, your role in My Life as a King is much more administrative than hands-on. My Life as a King was released at the dawn of WiiWare, but still holds strong as a very solid digital offering. It may seem odd to label anything with the name Final Fantasy as an underappreciated gem, but how many people actually played this game? Ask around. Odds are not many of your gamer friends will remember this one. You'll spend your time sending off adventures, issuing quests, forming parties, and all the other stuff non-adventure types do in a Final Fantasy game. Just like other entries in this list, the game isn't for everybody. The story is less than stellar, and the game is hopelessly long-winded at times, but its distinctive take on city-building game design is worth looking into if you've ever found yourself interested in what the town folks of a Final Fantasy game were doing while you were off slaying antlions and torturing cactuars. Alright, so this might not exactly be the most high-octane, action-packed list available, but regardless, Fishing Resort is a truly unique and fun experience that can't be had anywhere else. You control your self-made avatar on a quest to, well, go on an awesome fishing vacation. There's a huge island to explore, tons of activities to partake in, upgrading out the wazoo, and potentially hundreds of hours of enjoyment to be had. Now, the visuals are a little murky, it is a Wii game after all, and the action isn't exactly pulse-pounding. But nothing beats a nice, relaxing time of virtual fishing after a long and hectic day. Fishing Resort actually does an admirable job of simulating a vacation experience complete with hotel room, booking excursions, an aquarium, and sightseeing around the island. If you're looking to do a little relaxing bike riding, kayaking, and fishing in the warm, beautiful weather, but don't want to have to bother with all of that going outside business, Fishing Resort is right up your alley. A word of warning though, avoid the version of the game that comes with the plastic fishing rod attachment. This shoddy piece of plastic literally fell apart after about an hour's worth of use. Alright, so you want something with a little more heat. Something with a slightly more adult theme? Something with a little more desperate struggling?
Hold it, you violence-loving bastard! Before you start your desperate struggling, you should drop a nice save.
No More Heroes has all of this with much, much more. And much of this content is, well, let's just call it unique. How unique? Well, there's a series of minigames centered around getting your cat to lose weight, so there's that. While it may be difficult to call the No More Heroes series poorly publicized, the sales numbers don't lie. Not many people played this game, and for that reason we're classifying it as underappreciated, underrated, and just plain undeserving of how it got overlooked. You take the role of lovable loser Travis Touchdown in the flamboyant, over-the-top world of Santa Destroy. To say this world is twisted is definitely an understatement. Travis has to kill countless foes on his quest. He must learn wrestling moves, kill other assassins, get part-time jobs, and, do this. All in all, the game is a very solid experience, though. If you're looking for a hack and slash with more than a tinge of gore, sexual content, and oddities, No More Heroes 2 definitely fits the bill. Sure, there is a bit of an unexplained story gap between 1 and 2, but you're not playing a game like this for its story. You're playing it for its charm and to experience the messed up world of Santa Destroy. At first glance at Spectrobe's origins, your first thoughts may be something like, how in the world could a game based on some Saturday morning Disney cartoon be any good? Well, to the surprise of many, it's actually not based on any cartoon or movie, but it's an original game series that mixes elements of Pokemon and Tamagotchi with a little bit of Monster Hunter sprinkled in. That's not to say the game doesn't ooze with Saturday morning cheesiness, but there's actually a fairly solid game to back it up. Combat is definitely of serviceable quality, there's a creature collection mechanic that will keep players hunting, and a fairly beefy animal training mechanic that adds up to a surprisingly enjoyable experience. Sure, the combat is mainly the same 3-hit combo over and over again. Sure, the game is trying way too hard to be a Japanese anime, which kind of makes sense because that's where it was developed. And maybe the camera system can be kind of janky and the story is on par with a badly written children's cartoon. All that aside, the game is without a doubt something that deserves more attention than it received. There's even a highly enjoyable fossil extraction section of the game that makes really good use of the Wii's motion technology and IR technology, and how many games can say that? Alright, it's important to remember that this is in no way a complete or comprehensive list. There are still tons of great Wii titles out there that didn't make this video, but we'd love to hear about some of your favorite titles on the platform, hidden gem or not. It may be going out with a whimper, but the Wii certainly offered its fair share of stellar experiences. Here's hoping that the Wii U can do even better.